Imagine you're at an auction and the first bid for an item you're interested in is much higher than you expected. This initial high bid sets a psychological anchor, influencing your perception of the item's value and affecting your subsequent bids. This phenomenon, known as the anchoring effect, is a cognitive bias where individuals rely heavily on the first piece of information they receive, that is, the anchor, when making decisions. The anchoring effect is the human tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information encountered when making decisions. This bias causes subsequent judgments and decisions to be influenced by the initial anchor, even if the anchor is arbitrary or irrelevant. The concept of the anchoring effect was first identified by psychologists Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman in the early 1970s. Their groundbreaking work in the field of behavioral economics and cognitive psychology uncovered numerous biases that affect human judgment and decision-making. Tversky and Kahneman's research demonstrated that even arbitrary and unrelated numbers could serve as anchors, significantly influencing people's estimations and choices. Their work laid the foundation for understanding how cognitive biases, including the anchoring effect, shape our perceptions and decisions. The anchoring effect occurs because the initial information sets a reference point which our brains use to interpret subsequent information. This cognitive bias acts as a filter through which all subsequent information is viewed. As a result, our perceptions and judgments are skewed, often without us realizing it. We believe we're making rational decisions based on the evidence, but that evidence has already been influenced by the anchor, subtly shaping our reasoning processes. For example, when asked to estimate the population of a city after being given a random number as an anchor, people's estimates tend to gravitate toward that number, even if it's completely unrelated. Similarly, in pricing scenarios, an initial high price can anchor consumers' perceptions, making an apparently discounted price seem more attractive. In both cases, the anchor distorts the perceived value or quantity, making our judgments less rational than we think. The anchoring effect has profound implications in various aspects of life, from retail pricing and salary negotiations to courtroom sentencing and medical diagnoses. In retail, for example, the initial price shown for a product can anchor consumers' perceptions of its value, making subsequent apparent discounts appear more attractive. This anchoring bias can lead to decisions that feel rational but are, in fact, heavily influenced by the initial anchor. In negotiations, the first offer often sets the stage for the entire bargaining process, influencing the final outcome. Understanding how anchoring works can help professionals in various fields, such as marketing, finance, and law, to better manage and leverage this bias. Recognizing that our perceived rationality can be an illusion created by anchoring can help to mitigate its effects. Awareness is the first step in mitigating the anchoring effect. By recognizing that our judgments can be unduly influenced by initial information, we can take steps to counteract this bias. This awareness helps us understand that what feels like rational reasoning is often filtered through an unconscious bias. One effective technique to counteract the anchoring effect is to deliberately consider a wide range of information and perspectives before making a decision. Additionally, setting personal benchmarks or reference points based on thorough research can help reduce the reliance on external anchors. These strategies help clear the cognitive filter and allow for more accurate decision-making. In summary, the anchoring effect is a powerful cognitive bias that influences our decisions by making us overly reliant on initial pieces of information. Understanding its origins, mechanisms, and real-world implications can help us become more aware of its influence in our daily lives. By employing strategies to counteract this bias, we can make more balanced and informed decisions.